Hey guys, Chris here, we're giving Busted Knuckle DIY, and today I'm going to show you a little more artsy and craftsy kind of project that you can do on the cheap, probably about $10, $12, that's going to give you a really sweet effect for the upcoming Halloween holiday. Let's get wrenching. Oh hell, I can fix that. Honey, can you bring me a Band-Aid, please? Alright guys, so step one in our little project is going to be a string of lights. Now this is a string of 10 orange globe lights that I got from Dollar General, and we're going to modify these a little bit because to do our project I don't need the lights spaced every 6 inches apart. So what we're going to do, get rid of that, we're going to leave the first light on the string, and as you can see here, each subsequent one only has the 2 leads. So to keep this burning, right, because it will all cut off if we take this bulb out, we're going to cut those wires right there, skin those back, and solder them together to make a solid connection, so now that there's a good foot between each of our lights, and we're just going to do this every other bulb all the way down. So I've got my wire skinners and some heat shrink tubing and my soldering iron ready to go, so this shouldn't take too long, and with any luck we'll have a string of 5 lights properly spaced, or reasonably close to properly spaced here, in just a minute. So we're going to go ahead and take and put a piece of heat shrink tube over that, because this is going to be for an outdoor project, so we don't want moisture getting into our wires. Line those up, twist them together. Now when you twist these wires together like this, they don't have to hold indefinitely. The idea is just for them to be a reasonably solid connection that we can solder. Anyway, I'm going to fire up the soldering gun, get that soldered up, and then we'll move on from there. Alright, so you can see where we've cut and spliced and soldered that up, and I'm going to slide my heat shrink tube over. Now this heat shrink tube is a little big. Now you can do this with a heat gun, or if you happen to have a cigarette lighter, just heat that tube up and it shrinks considerably. So, don't be scared to rotate it once or twice. Make sure you kind of cook it on all sides here. And that'll blow so it cools down. And there you have it. So now we've got a joint. So in theory, we should be able to plug this in. And even though we've deleted one of those light bulbs, it should run. So let's give it a try. And indeed it does. So I'm going to shut the camera down, and we're going to go along and delete every other light bulb. So we've got 1, 2, so then this one, until we only have 5 remaining, and then we'll move on to the next step in the project. Alright, so we've got those lights spaced out. Everything's wired up. It should go good. They should be super bright. Yeah, look at that, guys. That's awesome. Nice, and we got a good spacing between them. This is going to look awesome outside. Let's move on to the decoration that we're going to put over the bulbs. Okay, so to make our little covers for our lights, things that I'm going to use here today, I printed this, just printed this photograph off of like Google, of 2 kitty cat eyes, because we're cat lovers here, and kitties are synonymous with Halloween, and I think cat eyes lit up in the bushes are going to be awesome. So how are we going to make that? Well, we're going to use this as a template to cut out this yellow shape, leaving the black behind, and we're going to cut it out of this. This is black Coroplast, the same stuff they make like political signs out of. I love it because it cuts easy with scissors. It's easy to work with. You can tape it, you can glue it, you can do anything you want. It's water resistant, it's not going to hurt it. And then we'll need some variety of clear plastic that we're going to paint with this yellow / little green area here to put inside this, and tape in there, so that way when we put the light in the top of it, the eyes themselves light up. Now we're going to paint them to a very opaque color, but it doesn't matter, it's a bright light, it's going to light up pretty cool. So anyway, let's get on that, and then I'll take you along as I go step by step. Okay, so I've cut out my little template, at least the rough shape, and I've put it on here. And then this is the piece that I cut off the bottom. I cut this Coroplast down. You can see it went like that. And I'm going to use this for the top and bottom. So I spaced it, put the eyes in again, spaced it. So we're going to cut this off right here. Okay, and we're going to take a razor knife and just score along these little edges here so that we can fold this around into a box shape. It doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to serve. So we're also going to go ahead and cut the yellow out of this black piece of paper so that we can draw it on here and cut that out. And then, you know, pretty much we're done there. But anyway, let me do that, and I'll bring you back in. All right, so I've already cut one of these out of the piece of paper, and I've just got this sitting on a piece of scrap. But we're just going to use an X-Acto knife. Sorry, my hands are in the way, but you'll get to see most of it here. This is a brand new blade. They're very sharp. And more or less, all we're doing is just tracing around the black to remove that yellow to get the general shape of what our light up eyes are going to be. Let this take a second. It's not a race. Doesn't take long anyway. And you see here, yeah, we've pretty well got that cut out. So there you have it. So if we move that against a lighter background, that's what that's going to look like, more or less lit up. I think I'll try to even it up a little bit. Just because the way this eye kind of slants up a little more, so we might bring this one up a tiny bit higher. And then kind of size match the other one. Yeah, it's not too bad. And then I think we'll bring this one around a little further, a tiny bit, and then shallow this curve up. To make it a nice sharp corner. Yeah, I'm very pleased with that. That looks pretty cool. So that's what our light up eyes are going to look like. So we're going to, I scored along my straight edges and only cut one layer of the chloroplast, and there you go, it folds into a box. So we'll transfer this stencil onto the chloroplast with our magic marker, get that cut out, and then we'll get this clear plastic that's going to go behind to back it, paint it up in that yellow/green color, get a light on it, and then we'll see what it takes, see what it looks like. Alright, so you can see we got those cut out. That looks pretty good. So I've got this piece of plastic, and I don't know if you can see them. There you go. Kind of drew some gold lines on, just in the center where this is going to set. I'm just going to set it up here. Now I've got my acrylic paints. And in the reference photo, the kitty eyes were kind of had a little bit of green right around that downward slash. So we're going to kind of paint in a little green there. Doesn't have to be overly attractive or pretty, and we're gonna do a couple of coats because we want this to be very opaque, because we don't want to see the light bulb coming through behind it. So anyway, we've got that, and we're gonna let that dry for a minute. Then we're gonna paint the yellow on, then put this on from the back side, and turn it into just a little light box, and this thing should look freaking awesome. Anyway, we're going to give that paint a few minutes to dry, get that other coat on, get it painted up, and we'll see what it does. Okay, so we've made our slits in the box so everything will fold over. I've taped in my clear plastic on the back. I've cut out the front stencils. And you can see what we got going on here. Now we need to get a little more yellow paint. I'm going to show you how I found the best way to do that is, like I said, this is not dry by any means, but we're going to just blob it on there really heavy. And the green is a little drier than the yellow at this point, but that's okay. We're going to really put quite a bit on there because we're going to cover this up and then use our finger to make it smooth. Which should eliminate most of the brush strokes. Alright, so I'm going to rinse my brush off here. And I've cut this piece of clear tape. We're just going to tap it on, and then we're going to work that a little bit with our finger and smooth that out. And see the big difference in the one side and the other. Getting that tape stuck down. And you can kind of push the paint around under it. And that really came out quite nicely. So anyway, then we'll fold our box around, put our top and bottom on it, tape it up, punch a hole in it, and we're good to go. And that's how I'm doing the paint for the eyes in the background. So I think it's going to look great. Anyway, moving on. All right, guys, they're all done. It's pretty dark out here, and you can see they look so cool. When, you know, with it being dark outside, you can't see the little blackout boxes at all. I'm just from a little ways away here. You can see the little light up eyes in the bush. They look like little kitty eyes. But obviously, you can do any kind of eyes that you see fit. Whether it be devil eyes or crazy eyes or whatever it is that you like. But I am super happy with those. This project cost a whopping $10. And yeah, it came out great. So, hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed that. You know, a super easy, super simple, super cheap project that gives you a very unique look. And again, you can choose whatever type of eyes or anything else that you like to light up in the background of your foliage or around your house, little nooks and crannies, and really create a cool Halloween atmosphere for the upcoming holidays. So anyway, guys, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so we got a lot more great content coming up for you. Remember to check us out on Facebook. In the description box below, guys, I'll put links to our Facebook page and our email address if you want to drop us a line. Till next time, this is Chris for Busted Knuckle DIY saying, keep wrenching.